now we're live. If we weren't already before. Let me know in the comments. If I don't hear anything in like a minute, I will cancel and start again. So now would be the time. I don't see anything. In the meantime, let me go try to see if I can find any other evidence. We're here. Okay, there we go. All right. So, yeah, we're downtown. Haley, how are you? I'm still tired, but here we are. We're downtown. There's Ross. There's the station where I was at. Yo, Julietta. Yo, Max Diner, blank. NJ89er, Rizze, and I saw XEVI earlier. I don't see him now. Live stream. Did I miss anything? Nope. Literally just started. So I'm gonna go into the financial district this time. I kind of want to see if I can see Louis again. Hello, Joe Smith. So let's see if we can manage to see him. It's Friday, so it's a little bit busier than normal around this time. You're a trooper, Lee, but you should have rested some more. You know what, actually? So I was really burning myself out. So I was doing these streams 3 times a week, and those days you would think I had off, I was actually working over at the theater. I told them over at the theater that I'm going to be gone for a little while because I have a baby that's going to be due next month. So I think that's it for working at the theater for the time being. Let's see. Also, Lee, you made my day with the t-shirt and the 2 cute drawing. Thank you so much. Tell your daughter I love it. Thank you, Funk. Did you like the shirt? Did it fit well? You know, you can rip those tags right off too, which is nice. So let's see. You know what? I'm gonna give a little treat to this person here. Say ho.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Oh, by the way. Hello, Katrina. Or Catalina, sorry. Basically, I'm giving out these things right here. I don't even know exactly what they are. Some sort of crispy treat of some kind or another. Let's see, I got a variety of different ones. They're kind of smushed up because they're inside my pocket. But, you know, as they say, beggars can't be choosers. Hey, you want a little treat here? It's from Japan. There you go. You got a pill bottle over here behind you. You know that? Here. There you go. You drop your pills. Are you David Rodney? There you go. And you got some milk back here too, actually. You want those as well? I guess not. I did rip off the tag. The length of the shirt was perfect. It was a bit tight, but it's more motivation for my diet. 100 pounds down and counting. Yeah, that's good, man. I lost tons of weight too. I mean, not too recently, but yeah. Hello, how are you? I'm doing okay. Okay. So nice. There's no problem. Okay, so I'm going to adjust the brightness. It's a little difficult for me to see everything here. There we go. God bless you, Lee. Where is my boyfriend, Carlos? I don't know. Is he over at your place? How would I? He's been gone. I've been. So I didn't contact him on Monday. Just because, you know, last time I talked to him, he was kind of feeling like he's been doing it a little bit too much, and he felt I guess he didn't really feel like doing it too much. So I was like, all right, I'll give him some time off. You know, maybe I've been calling on him too much. And then after that, yeah, I called him, and I haven't been able to contact him. So, like, I've called him, I've emailed him, I've texted him, and so I feel like, I mean, I know that nothing really happened to him because his phone was originally dead, and then, you know, later it was, because, you know, you call and it immediately goes to voicemail. And then, you know, now it will ring for a while before it goes to voicemail. But so there's either he's upset with me for some reason, or you know, he's he might have kind of slipped back into using again. I don't know. I can only guess. I have no idea. Max Diner, hope he's not relapsing. Me too. But that definitely could be a possibility. Hold on here. Hey buddy, you want a snack? It's from Japan. You want it? There you go. He's out partying, I have a feeling. I'm not so sure about that. He's not really much of a partier. I really hope Carlos is sticking around and it isn't a slip. I don't know. Like I said, it could be two things. It could be that he's upset with me, which I don't know because I can't contact him. But like, yeah, I texted him, I emailed him, and I called him. And I called him several times. But either that or, yeah. I mean, I know he had a roommate that it was difficult for him to be around without, you know, using any substances. So, and I know that he was coming around. Should be here about now. So maybe that's what it is. You know, who knows? Who is Carlos? Sorry, didn't see live streams recently. So Carlos, he was with me inside the foster homes. Well, inside the the group homes really is where I was with him. Yeah, you know, he kind of joined me when I went to a few foster homes. So he's basically like a foster brother. But yeah, he's a friend from when I lived inside the system. And I recently helped him when, you know, he was feeling really suicidal and was suffering from addiction. So I don't know. But yeah, he joined me on streams and stuff. I think he honestly added a lot to it. You know, instead of just having me out here talking alone, I had somebody I could talk with and bounce stuff off with, somebody I had some rapport with, you know. Why would he be upset? I can only guess. I don't know. I could have said something in the live stream that upset him or something. Maybe he felt slighted that I didn't contact him for the live stream. I really have no idea. Yeah, meanwhile, kind of just been wandering down here. He'll be fine. Well, I hope so. Yeah, well, I hope so too. But so anyhow, I think I'll go off of Market Street to go hand these out because I think people really are in sort of beg mode. Oh, you know, this guy I saw last stream over here in this box here. Let me see if I could put some stuff over there for him. There it goes. I have a nice little treat. There's like 3 of them. Hopefully he notices that when he wakes up. So I don't know. What are the chances are that he wakes up and eats that stuff? Well, if you're out there, Carlos, we're all rooting for you. Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'm just concerned because, you know, this kind of stuff has happened before where I haven't been able to contact him for, you know, like a couple years. So. Yeah, there's nothing really too much over here. There's a little fountain right over here, the circular fountain. There's the old tower over there, Salesforce Tower. And there's this thing, whatever that is. Yep. So I guess I'll cut off over here into the financial district that way, because I always see Louis. I'm carrying around, you know, last time I saw Louis is a homeless guy that I've seen downtown. He was wearing overalls and he had no shirt on. So I want to see if I can find Louis and I'll give him a shirt. I've been carrying it in my bag the whole time. While you were a good party to give something to the homeless people. Yes, no problem. So Stephen, you are in Singapore. How is the homeless situation in Singapore? Rize, no, there is definitely something wrong with people smoking a little once in a while, because there's people who cannot contain themselves. You know, there is no such thing as a little bit every once in a while. There's as much as I can get my hands on, and then after that I gotta go find something else. Hello, P. Ant. Wait, is that Antlion? Hello, P. Antlion. Salesforce CEO donated $30 million to homeless research. Well, I mean, it's no good for them, but I don't know. Definitely more needs to be done. Yeah, but hold on one second. I think I see people over here. Hey buddy, you want some snacks? Yeah, this is from Japan. Yeah.
I'm from Hollywood, Florida.
What's that?
Hollywood, Florida.
You're from Hollywood, Florida?
Yep, Broward County.
Oh, how long you been here?
July 7th, 10 years.
10 years?
Yeah.
Wow. What brought you here to San Francisco?
Change.
What's that? Change? You didn't like Florida?
No, well, I did, but I don't know, I had too many problems with the law, and then like, it taught me enough not to go back to prison. And, I came here and I haven't been in no trouble with no one.
So the police leave you alone here?
Yeah. Everybody does, close. All my parents gone.
Yeah.
I've seen to talk to any of my parents since I was little. That's true.
So you don't have any family at all, huh? No brothers, sisters,
No.
cousins?
I didn't even look up anybody to see me, because I know 357 youth with an issue. They brought me back to my dad's tombstone over there in North Carolina, and I've never been there.
Oh yeah.
But I never even looked up his law and nothing else. So I thought, what was that to know? Because my stepdad taught me more than my dad did.
How did your dad treat you?
Oh, like I wasn't there.
Oh really? He just left?
No, he just, I met him one time and that was it. And my stepdad was always there for me. He just kept beating my mom. And he was like,
Your dad beat your mom?
no, my stepdad.
Your stepdad? Your stepdad always beat your mom?
Yeah, and
And you too? Yeah.
And my brother kept running away, so I was like, all right. So he taught me enough to learn that. He taught me this in Vietnamese, because he went to Vietnam. And
Sure.
Yi Mao Kakadao, good guy at Choi Wai Nay. He never told me what it meant. He was like, this guy is my witness. You should never even have to go through that. So that's why I look at it now, it's like, you know, because I remember him telling me all the time, he was like, you know, I was beating babies before you was even born, so don't tell me how I should be treating you and anybody else then. And I was like, all right.
So he's treating you like a recruit then, huh?
Yeah, he's treating me like a bastard.
So your brother, was it an older brother?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was 2 years, 4 days older.
And so you don't know what happened to him then, right?
Well, no.
Yeah.
I just left
You know
him
they say kids don't run away unless they're being beaten.
alone. Yeah.
I ran away. I was beaten.
Yeah.
You know. I know what it's like. I used to be homeless too.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember the funniest thing, because I told my mom, I was only like 9 years old, and I was like, Mom, if you don't do something about this, I will. And he had a nice little 25, and then I stuck underneath the door, and I was like,
What was that about the 25?
25 on that little revolver.
Oh yeah.
I told her, if you don't do it, Mom, I'll stick a bunch of you. If you don't do it, I will. And what's the same way you say that?
So did you run away when you were a kid?
No.
No. You stuck it out till you were an adult.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the funniest thing was, I never saw my stepdad beat or nothing. And then after I started going underneath my mom's pillow, all I remember was I went to sleep and then I heard a boom, boom. And then I woke up, I jumped up and I ran out there and it was the funniest thing I ever saw because I never saw him bleed before. My mom shot him in the foot and he shot the TV. And I just went back to sleep. That's the first time I ever saw him bleed.
How old were you when that happened?
About 9.
9?
Yeah.
So she shot him on purpose or was it an accident?
No, she shot him on purpose.
Wow. Is he still around? Oh well, no. You said your family died, but what about your stepdad?
Well, him and my mom was together. I just left him like that. I haven't seen him. Nobody was since 94.
So they might still be around then, right? Or you don't know? I mean, do you know
Yeah.
that they're dead or not?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
I know my real dad is, but that's why I went to prison because he never showed up. And then he was like, well, all I was there to do was show up and drop charges because he didn't too much.
So what happened that led you to being in prison?
Broke never not to play ball.
Oh, okay.
Because my dad told me, well, it wasn't working out because he was in recovery. So I was like, all right, so I respected him enough to where I'd come home and stuff, but I wouldn't take any care of the food. Then I started roofing my cousin and everything. It was like, he saved up enough money, and I wasn't emancipated. That's how I found out that they never got divorced. I've already gotten emancipated. I went to the bar my first night in the place. I borrowed my neighbor's ID, went to the bar and got drunk and lost my keys.
Yeah.
First night in there, it was last night in there. I went back and I broke the window because I couldn't find the keys. And I was like, oh. Passed out on the couch and they showed up and arrested me. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
My dad never showed up before he got me charged with some mistake.
So is alcohol still your drug of choice? Marijuana? Oh, okay.
I have glaucoma. That's what Detroit is. Well,
You got a cannabis card?
no, I got my ID, but
Oh, okay.
I got I never got a license.
Oh, you got a Oh, you got scars there.
Yeah.
What's that from?
Getting hit by a car.
Oh, wow.
Michigan, Detroit. And it was like, well, the way they left me, it was like I didn't want to drive. Somebody's now, they're driving around here with my name on a license. And it's like, well, I never had one before anyway.
Yeah.
I got a $495 ticket. Hopefully this Monday I'll get my eye surgery for glaucoma.
So, you haven't tried getting into an SRO or anything like that, have you?
Yeah, I've been trying.
Oh, you've been trying?
Yeah.
Are you on a wait list right now?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, because this year, actually, I was holding this year in my hand, and this is my ID.
Oh, wow. That thing, it's seen better days.
Yeah, I just got my ankle all over it.
Yeah.
I was actually in church, and up there at the homeless church, and they was holding it like this, and their ID snapped. And I was like, wow, no way. Broken 3 pages, and I was like, no, I can't believe this.
You know, that thing's not expired, is it?
No.
Okay. You know there's places where you could get, where they'll replace it for you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It's good thing too.
Yeah.
It's never expired.
How's that treat that I gave you? I never tried it. It's like literally from Japan. I didn't even try a single one. So I don't even know what flavor that is. Maybe green tea or something? Oh, go ahead. It's good?
Yeah.
Here, let me give you... Yeah, I got a couple other flavors here. Here's I guess that's coconut. And what's this one? I have no idea. Ginger, I think. Yeah. Yeah. No problem, buddy.
Trying to find him.
Oh yeah. Well then, buddy, you know, thanks for talking to me, and yeah, I hope you enjoy those things. And if let me know if you see me again, I'll try to give you something else too.
All right, my name's Wayne.
All right, nice to meet you, Wayne. My name's Lee.
All right.
All right.
I used to sleep right over there on the beach.
Where? Over there? Oh, okay.
Right on the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right then, Wayne.
All right now.
All right, handing out sushi. No, they're these I don't know. I guess looks like crispy cakes. Yeah. So where am I? It's Market and First Street. So, oops. Yeah. And now. So that was cool. Got to talk to him for a little bit. I'm not sure how much you guys could hear from him. So basically, he was saying that his dad used to beat the hell out. I mean, his stepdad used to beat the hell out of him, and used to beat his mom up too. You know, his mom had a gun. Oh, you heard it all. Okay, I'll just summarize quickly though. His mom had a gun, put it under the pillow, or like he put it under his mom's pillow. I was telling her to shoot him. He was 9 years old when he was telling her this, and yeah, one night he woke up to 2 gunshots. She shot him in the foot, and he shot the TV. And he went and saw it, thought it was the funniest thing ever to see his stepdad bleed, and then went back to sleep. Have you spoke to Carlitos? I haven't heard from Carlos in like like a week. I barely heard him. Yeah, I barely heard him too, so that's why I was kind of summarizing. Those Japanese wafer cookies, yes. Audio was fine. All right, well, I'm glad some of you guys could hear, because I literally couldn't. But you know, this was you know, closer than I was, so there's a good chance you guys heard better than I did. Yeah. So I am. Where am I? I have no idea. I'm on Front and Pine Street. Let me walk up Pine Street a little bit, I guess. Do I know who Joe Dispenza is? No, I don't know who Joe Dispenza is. Dr. Joe Dispenza. Who is he? Let me know who he is. So, literally, I'm going to be wandering around here inside the financial district, looking to see if I could find old Louie. And you know, talking to people along the way. Read one of his books. He's amazing. Why? I don't like reading books, honestly, because that's sort of a single source. I like to be able to see something that has that I could cross-reference. You know, when you read a book, it can be very compelling because you kind of forget the fact that you're only listening to one person's perspective or one person's opinion, or seeing, you know, one person's selected research. He talks about how we have control of our thoughts and our mind could reverse diseases. Yeah, see, that kind of thing, I'm gonna have to see some references, some double-blind peer-reviewed studies. That's not something that I'm just gonna read inside of a book and take to heart. But we don't honestly, we have limited control over our own mind and thoughts. You know, there's people, a lot of the people act irrationally and other stuff, they actually have a lot of stuff going on under the hood, you know. Sam Kinison, for example, you know, his personality completely changed due to a car accident. This happens to a lot of people. They'll get in an accident, they'll suffer some brain damage, and they will change completely, because, you know, your personality is all located inside your prefrontal cortex. Your impulse control, your ability to emote, to feel for other people, you know, just all those kinds of things are over inside. I actually took care of people who had brain tumors in the front of their brain. They completely changed personalities. People who used to be so nice and genuine and caring suddenly became very impulsive and selfish. You know, didn't care what anybody thought, and gave into any desire that they had, be it sexual or otherwise. So no, they had completely no control. They literally did not have the brain power to be any different. So you're not in control of your brain. It reminds me of another comment I saw over on. There's a video of a schizophrenic woman who got into an argument with a homeless man on a bus, and I saw a comment on there. This person had said, like, oh, you know, I used to watch this video all the time with my sister, and we'd laugh, but I'm crying now. I had like a psychotic break, and I regularly like have episodes, and I have schizophrenia now, and I was inside of a mental institution, and I saw a woman who looked just like this, and she was very nice to me, you know. So, I mean, that was a really good comment. And of course, I'm bastardizing it by trying to summarize it off the top of my head. But yeah, you're not in control. There's things you can do to mitigate things affecting you. You know, I mean, over at the theater, there's somebody who worked there, whose mother just passed away. His mother passed away from Parkinson's. I mean, was that weakness of the mind? No, that was neurological damage. So you don't have. I mean, maybe there's things that they could do to avoid those kinds of things. You know. Maybe there's environmental factors. Maybe there's aluminum in the drinking water. Maybe they were exposed to certain parasites or something else. Who knows? You know, maybe when she was younger she did a lot of cocaine or something else like that. That could have set her up for it. But people think of the mind as being this thing that's like, you know, magical. It's off in this. There's no limit to your capability. And it's this thing that's off in the middle of nowhere. It's like your soul and your spirit are tied to your mind as this ephemeral thing that's just floating out there. Your mind is inside your head. It's inside your brain. And if somebody messes up your brain, it messes up your mind. You know? There's all kinds of instances where people have had brain damage that have completely changed them. There's a famous case about a railroad worker. He was laying down rails, and I guess they need to clear out some rails. They put down some dynamite, and it exploded, and it shot a rail through his head. And of course, it got his frontal lobe, and you know, the thing went from inside his eye out the top of his head. Boom! Just shot straight through. He survived, but then later he had like a fit of like coughing, or I think he was even vomiting. and as he was vomiting, a piece of brain shot out of his head that could fit inside of a teacup. Anyhow, he was, again, somebody who was a loving father, who after that immediately had a change and became really a brute, an awful person to be around. So Lee just signing in. Where's Carlos? I have no idea where Carlos is. I assume he's probably at home. But yeah, I mean, like, you know, there's like with people who have autism, people who have schizophrenia, you can see scans of the brain, and you can see the enlarged vesicles. You can really see that there's holes that is basically the brain is decaying away. I mean, the brain is just another piece of your body. Your mind is in your brain and maybe a little bit inside your brainstem, but there's like it's all based on physical matter, you know. Marijuana cures Parkinson and Alzheimer's. Lots of studies show marijuana is not bad. Here's a study for you. Marijuana was shown to inhibit your brain's development. It's shown in people, I think, under the age of 15 who try weed, and not too much either, who smoke a moderate amount of weed. It actually inhibits the development of your brain. And guess what's the last thing to form? It's the prefrontal cortex. So I'm basically wandering. I have no idea where I am, really. Wherever I am, I don't think it's the financial district any longer. Oh, what is this? Is this the Transamerica Pyramid? Oh, looks like it is. How's it going, Try Hard 7? Boom! The Transamerica Pyramid. I can't get it all in frame even with this ultra wide angle. Nope. Let me try to get under to get more of it in frame. Oh, well, let's go under it, actually. No, it's not as interesting. Let's see. Here we go. Ta-da! Listen, there's I know you guys really are into marijuana. There's a lot of propaganda out there, and a lot of really poorly designed studies. So really, you're gonna have to do a lot of independent research if you want to try to find some real information. Keep in mind now that marijuana is now a huge business, and there's a lot of money behind it. So a lot of people are espousing the values of marijuana, but a lot of that is kind of fluff. I know Nixon and Reagan demonized marijuana, but it isn't for everyone. Listen, not only do I believe that marijuana is no good for you, I believe nicotine's no good for you too. 80% of schizophrenics smoke cigarettes, whereas like only 1/5, I think, of the normal population does. Sound is off. Windy. Okay, sorry about that. I'll try to get somewhere where it's not so windy. Okay. But yeah. So like I said, you guys are free to do what you guys want to do. Just know that I wouldn't do that my own self. There are many cases of people smoking weed with kind of disastrous results. People have lost their minds, basically gotten schizophrenia from it, and you know, there's people who have addiction problems in it, and you know, they, like Carlos, for example, it starts with weed, then goes on to alcohol and basically anything else you can find out on the streets. So it's not this magical plant. A lot of things are plant-based. They're not good for you. In fact, marijuana needs very little pesticides. That THC in there, it was not something handed down by the gods. It's something to stop creatures from eating it. So you need very little pesticide because it's such an undesirable plant for animals to eat on. Have you ever taken shrooms, Lee? No, I have not ever taken shrooms. I have taken acid. So I am, where am I right now? I'm on Montgomery and Sacramento. So I guess I'll just head back over there. Do not feel like I'm not in control. You know, yeah, anyhow, let me show you guys where I'm at right now. I personally can't use a pot, it makes me hallucinate. I'm telling you, look, it's a psychoactive drug. Any psychoactive drug causes damage to the brain. Any psychoactive drug, if you do it enough, will affect your sanity. My mom, who was schizophrenic, also had strong reactions with marijuana. They didn't get schizophrenia from smoking weed, just pushes the brain over the edge. You realize what nonsense that is? Anything that can trigger schizophrenia, quote unquote trigger, causes schizophrenia. So you say, oh, you did weed and it triggered it. No, you did weed and it caused it. It could have been one of many causes. It was a cause nonetheless. You know, you could get it from traumatic brain injury. You know, you can get it from parasites. There's probably many other factors that lead to you getting it. But this whole thought that you can trigger it, like as some sort of key to unlocking the schizophrenia that was already there. If you look at a healthy brain and you look at a brain with schizophrenia, there's obvious physiological differences. And it's not like you smoke weed one time and then boom, all of a sudden everything changes inside your head. Medicinal levels of THC. What? Listen, if it was a medicine, you wouldn't be smoking it in a pipe. You wouldn't be eating it in brownies. Now, you could go ahead and try to extract one of the many thousands of chemicals inside of that plant and say, oh, this may have some benefit, right? That does not mean the whole thing is good for you. There are many different things. There are many thousands of different compounds inside of any plant. Lee, what about DMT? That's a site. Look, I'm going to walk diagonally through here. Both of these stop. I know Joe Rogan likes DMT. Joe Rogan is not who you want to get your advice on as far as these things. From what I understand, DMT is a psychoactive compound. You don't want to do anything psychoactive. That's a symptom of brain damage. You are frying your brain when you're taking these things. I mean, I've known people who have taken hallucinogens. Actually, you know, I've heard even with LSD. LSD, you take it and no, not only if you take it for long enough or a big enough amount, you're going to risk permanently damaging your brain. I mean, I know somebody who was who like had some liquid THC. He guzzled a bit of that, and now he's got schizophrenia. But DMT apparently, from what I've heard, and all I've heard is what Joe Rogan says on this podcast, is some compound that exists naturally inside the brain. You know, there's lots of compounds that exist naturally that are no good for you. Formaldehyde is a compound that exists naturally in living creatures. You don't want to be smoking formaldehyde. Hold on. Here you go, buddy. It's a snack from Japan. No problem.
I didn't want to be like hilarious or be like, I'm so stoked.
We have synaptic connections just like we would for vitamin or amino acid. Quite a cool stuff just found in pig brains in 1997. Well, you know what? We have receptors for a lot of things. We have receptors for opioids, you know? Does that mean that you should be smoking opium? Did you know fortune cookies are an American-made thing? Did you know that fortune cookies were made here in San Francisco? And did you also know that the number on the back is actually a lottery? So apparently you could try to track those numbers on the back of your little saying and try to see if you win. Or at least it used to be a lottery, and I think now it's just lucky numbers. So Lee, who do you think built the pyramids is a real question. Who gave us technology? You know, I think the pyramids, I think a lot of people are kind of stuck on that. I don't believe that slaves built it. I saw a little documentary that showed that the people who built the pyramids ate a diet rich in fish, and they actually received medical attention. You know, if they had broken bones, they had splints that were straightened. So, at least in that documentary, it was theorized that these were actually sort of nobles that were building it. And if you would think they're building this holy building for a pharaoh, you know, a lot of people think about, oh, how do they move this stuff? Keep in mind that just because it's a desert now doesn't mean it was a desert when it was built. You know, back then it was lush. You know, it was not a desert. So there's many different ways things could have been moved. You know, maybe there was rivers that they moved those blocks down instead of dragging them. You know, who knows? It's really hard with the Egyptians. Well, this guy doesn't look like he's stopping. Oh, there you go. Okay, it's different. The interesting thing about the Egyptians is, at one point in time, they were so advanced, but they never actually changed. Yeah, the Egyptians were doing the same thing for like 3,000 years. Lee is not only handsome but very intelligent. Thank you, Joe Smith. I agree they are skilled workers and they were compensated well. You know, a lot of people, they look at the Bible as being like some sort of archaeological fact. You know, it says, it says that the Jews built it, so then the Jews must have built it. Apparently, there is no archaeological evidence that it was built by Jews. So who knows? I used to live with my brother and his family near Eddy and Hyde Street in the mid-1980s in the Tenderloin. I'm in Portland, Oregon right now. I've been to Portland, Oregon. It's pretty nice over there. Well, I gotta go back to work. Hopefully I can watch a bit of the stream later. You never know. Oh, what's up? Uh-oh. What's going on? You weren't on there.
Oh, I wasn't in there.
There you go.
I thought I was.
Where are you from?
I am from Argentina.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How are you?
But I live here now.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
How long?
5 months.
Oh, so you're brand new.
Yes.
Oh, you work at one of these tech companies?
I do not.
Oh, where do you work at?
I'm actually a matchmaker.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I help people find love. I'm a transformational coach.
Is that something you were doing over in Argentina?
No, as a matter of fact, I lived in Texas before I moved here, but I'm a fitness professional as well. So I own a fitness studio.
Okay.
Yes.
You've been to the mission, of course, right? How do you like the mission?
The mission. Why? What's going on?
Well, I just think because it's rich with Latino culture.
Oh, no, I don't spend a lot of time there.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Are
Yeah.
you from here?
Yes, yeah, I've been
Okay.
here. Yeah, my whole adulthood.
Awesome. What's
Yeah.
your name?
My name's Lee.
Lee, nice
Yes,
to meet you.
nice to meet you. Aliana, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Well, enjoy your
Okay,
video.
thank you.
All right. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, anyhow, off we go. Professional matchmaker. That'd be funny if she was like a matchmaker for like a regional boxing ring or something. Lee, do you think she's pretty? I mean, she's okay. Wonder what's going on over here. Wow, what is going on over there? I don't think I'll go there. Let me go somewhere else. I think she was flirting with you. You never know, or at least I never seem to know. God, I need to get out of Nebraska. Yeah, it seems like a lot of the places you're at, if you're super rural, I mean, if you don't meet somebody in high school, good luck. It's dinner time. Have a good stream, Lee. I'm gonna come back later to see what you are up to. All right then, buddy. Enjoy your dinner. So, I am back on Market Street. Hold on. But so, you know, at night this little area is very different. Actually, this must. Where am I? 2nd Street. Yeah, this is around the area that I was talking to that guy, and was kind of pushed off towards the corner with people in my face. Hey, buddy, you want a snack? Oh, go ahead. You use your hands, buddy. Ah, here, use your hands. Do you want it or not? Oh, I guess he doesn't. I love heart. Okay, funny thing is, I'm about to sell my neighbor weed from California. I'll be right back. Well, I mean, it's a pretty profitable cash crop. I was actually looking up what are the most profitable things to grow. And I think weed is like number 4, number 5. Of course, if you're here in San Francisco, there'd be a lot of competition. The most profitable crop to grow is actually not something super expensive like saffron. Well, I guess it is super expensive, but the best thing to grow for profit would be ginseng. You know, the Chinese love to buy American ginseng. They believe it has healing properties. The only problem is it takes a long time to get a return on your investment, but they will pay a lot of money for it. Did he snarl when you gave him the cookie? Oh, he tried to grab it with his teeth. He put his arms behind his back and tried to grab it with his teeth. So I didn't want to risk getting bitten. That's why I was telling him to use his hands. So, basically, over here on Market Street. I kind of gave up looking around over in the financial district because I couldn't see anything right then and there. Like a dinosaur. Dinosaur. 7 years before you can crop ginseng. Yeah, well, but you know, if you're in it for the long haul, that'd be the most profitable thing to grow. Yeah, that dude was super methy. I would know. I've been there. So that guy was super tweaking. I'm looking at the comments out of order. Sorry. Yeah, that guy was. I was not sure if I was going to be able to really give it to him. Lee get tested? Oh, I've got nothing to worry about as far as getting tested for. I'm very safe. You know, I had a friend who got bit by a homeless man, and I took him over to the emergency room. Just because I was afraid something happened to him. I mean, you know, because the homeless guy bit him and actually broke the skin. So I guess basically, it was a friend of mine's brother who was waiting over at a bus stop. Somebody tried to grab his phone and he didn't let go of his phone. Then the guy bit his hand trying to get him to let go. And he still never let go. But yeah, I waited all night in the emergency room to get him seen. And yeah, they were not concerned at all about him getting HIV. They just gave him some antibiotics. Mino Teapot, love heart. I love you too, Mino. You don't have to keep saying it. There's that fire hydrant again. Oh man, you know, I'm actually still, oops. Let's look at it up close. My leg is still messed up from when I smashed into it on that on last Monday. Not last, the Monday before last. Oh wait, actually. Whoop, there's that fire hydrant. I don't even know where the hoses would go in. Was he okay? Well, so, you know, he told the doctor, like, oh, you know, I washed it as soon as I got home. And the doctor said, like, oh, that's the best thing you could do. The doctor was saying, like, when you wash with soap, it can destroy the virus capsules. You know, that's what she said. She said capsules. So, yeah, I didn't know. So even though it wasn't any kind of antimicrobial soap, it was just dish soap. Actually, he washed his hands with it, and that was what did it. The gold fire hydrant told you saved the mission in 1906. You know, if you go down, I think this way, there was a section of San Francisco that was saved because they demolished a ring of buildings all around it to stop the fire from spreading. Should have writing on it commemorating it, or the other survivors used to meet there every year. I think they all died though. Yeah, you would think so. 1906, it was a long time ago. Hey there, buddy, you want a snack? Yeah, that's from Japan. It's like a little crispy thing.
I picked up a drink earlier. First time I look, my weight today, and it was the first time since like I went to California that I really got the vibe of like Japanese seaweed.
Oh yeah.
Which is like some kelp.
It was a kelp drink.
Well, some kelp with certain kinds of seaweed. That's rich from Japan or all the way across the ocean. It really helped me out. But I'm kind of stupid. Is there anything to help you with? Because you help you or not? They dress a couple of
How long you been here in San Francisco?
a little bit and a half.
Oh, where are you from originally?
New York, California.
From here in California?
Yeah. Some of the camps, I tried to apply for some of the camps, but I didn't put it into paperwork as far as different religion. But
You wanted to stay and just basically...
I almost had a place to stay. Like, once I got back to San Jose, when I settled down here.
You were in San Jose?
Yeah, San Jose's cool.
Okay, yeah, I used to live there too.
Short drive to Cupertino or something?
Yeah.
Oh, Brian.
Was that
What's your name? Josh?
Lee?
Lee.
Yeah.
Please. Thank you for the.
Oh, no problem.
Okay.
I think it was the other pocket though.
The dog.
Yeah. Did people leave you alone here? People leave you alone here?
Basically,
All right. So that guy didn't want to talk. There's somebody over here kind of inspecting his ball bag. Right over there. Yeah. Let's see. Just water destroys the capsule or shield that a lot of viruses can create. Okay. Is that guy nodding? No, literally, Aesthetic Funk. That guy had his junk out and he was inspecting his balls. I wonder if he's still just there. No, he's coming this way though. Yeah. Seems like there would be a better place to do that kind of stuff. Oh, he left. I guess he went somewhere else. Don't shake his hand, I think he meant to say. They won't let them use restrooms. That's not true. If you go over inside, the mall, there's all kinds of homeless people using those restrooms. There's also, until 9, I think, you could use public restrooms that are just out here on the street, free to use. Yeah, I don't want to shake his gland. Okay. You know, no rent money, so no house and bathroom. Yeah, well, you know, like I said, there's these public restrooms that are available over here at the mall, right over there. Boom. There's plenty of restrooms over there, and then there's like a restroom over on the sidewalk right over there. You can't see it right now because it's obscured from view. But yeah. Maybe I should go. Should I go south from here towards the AMC, and or should I stick on Market? What do you guys say? The people will be on the streets in America because rent is so high. Listen, I don't think that guy who was checking his bag out on the corner was there because the rent is so high. I think the rent could have been 1/10 what it is now, and he would still be out on the corner checking his bag. San Francisco's got a huge problem with drug abuse, mental illness, and yeah, just sort of unfettered homelessness. So I think it's. I mean, look, if you can't afford it, you got to go somewhere else. That's simply the matter. You don't just stay there and start injecting drugs. Nate, I have something for you. Yes. It's not much. It's just a little snack.
Oh.
Here you go.
thank you.
It's from Japan.
What is it? Is it a sweet snack or
Yeah, it's like
savory?
I think it's
Umami
sweet.
what?
I think that's a coconut flavor.
Oh, okay, thank you.
And this one here. Let me see. I think this is. Oh, I don't know what it is. Some kind of leaf.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Did you ever get your phone replacement?
I'm going to get it. It's in the mail now.
Oh, okay. Okay, good thing.
But I'm going to owe $27, but that's okay.
Oh, okay. Well, at least you got a phone for now.
I don't usually lose things.
Oh yeah. Have you tried? Maybe you could get a lanyard for it or something.
Huh?
Maybe you could get like a lanyard for it.
No,
You
that
know?
wouldn't, you know, in this day and age, it wouldn't
Oh yeah. Well, because then it'd always be there, right?
convenient.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, no problem. I'm talking to people out on the street. Why, you want to be on the stream?
I don't quarrel with that.
Okay. I used to be homeless myself too, so.
No, I don't quarrel with that. Clearly you're not being an ass, so.
Oh, okay. I hand out. Let's see. Let me read it. Kev, I am heading to San Fran in a few weeks. Hope to see Lee. Well, you know what? If you're in the downtown area, you most likely will. Hopefully, you never end up on the streets because it sucks. I am sure of it. Yeah, well, I've been there. I hand out cashew bars. Yeah, well, you know, anytime I get like a bunch of snacks, I go out and hand them out on the street. I've seen Invisible People video handing out socks. Yeah, that's a really good thing to hand out. But I mean, you know, obviously there's places to get clothes. But I mean, you know, people go through socks pretty quickly. But really, it would be best if you could give them a shower and then give them socks, because those socks are just gonna go. They're going bad right away afterwards. I read about somebody who was in a wheelchair. You know, she was regularly getting hospitalized. She was costing the city $100,000 a year, which I guess a lot of homeless can. But they got her to the hospital. They took her shoes off, and then when they got to her socks were fused with her skin. They had to surgically remove her socks because they were just like embedded in her feet. Let's go take a look. But yeah, I wish I knew a place to buy some cheap socks in bulk. You can give out free hugs, won't cost you anything. There's hidden cost to that. There's things called bed bugs, fleas. You know, when I was over inside the homeless shelter, I was getting eaten alive by bed bugs. There's other weird parasites I've never seen before too. Over inside the shower, over inside the homeless shelter, there were these little black worms, these little parasitic black worms that you had to watch out for when you were taking your shower. The support system and the loving family is what a lot of them like. You know, I read a saying, and I'm gonna mess it up now as I try to remember it. It's from Frederick Douglass. He's the first black man to get a doctorate here in the U.S. But he said, wait, what was it? It's easier to raise a healthy child than to fix a broken man. I think that's at least in spirit. That's what he said. Tapey the tapeworm. No, I think tapeworms are actually inside of you, and I think a quarter of the population has tapeworms. But those things can grow to be like 6 feet long. Uncle Chuckles. Hey Lee, just off of work here. Well, welcome to the stream, Uncle Chuckles. Ew, black worms. Maybe it was from venom. I think that they're probably black because they probably feed on blood. Seems like a lot of creatures that eat blood are black. yeah. Thank you, Lee. Glad to be back. So, I'm over here. Old Urban Picasso is not here. So, off we go. Oh, hold on there. Hey there, buddy. I got a snack for you.
Yes, are you?
You want it? It's from Japan. You sure? Okay. Torvis. What's that say? Torvis Bog. Would you recommend moving to San Fran in 2019? No, I wouldn't. You know, I imagine that you're like from Sweden or somewhere thereabouts. You know, it's very expensive over here in San Francisco. I mean, maybe if you're like a developer, you might be able to afford staying here. The problem is, you know, a lot of people might be drawn here because of the high wages, but the actual, you know, the living wages are also super high too. So the living expenses really overwhelm your income. You know, your net gain will probably be less here in San Francisco than it would be somewhere else earning less. Thoughts on giving the homeless clean needles? Necessary evil or just encouraging more use? Oh, you dropped something. Oh, I guess you did. You know, I honestly think that it's really contributing to the drug use over here. You know, they're giving out these needles. Obviously, these needles aren't free, and there's a company making money selling these needles. There's needles all over San Francisco. It's a huge health hazard. People are picking them up all over the place, and it's you know, it's spreading disease like crazy. Homeless people will go and see a needle over on the floor and try to inject and see if they can get high off of whatever is inside there. You know, the needle exchange really isn't a needle exchange. They're just giving needles, just giving bundles of needles. I think that it would be much better to try to actually solve the problem, actually fix the problem, try to rehabilitate people. You know, try to get people off of the streets, try to get people to stop using, and not really be encouraging that. So I know a lot of people feel like, oh yeah, just give them needles and make safe injection sites where they could come over and you got people with Narcan on site who can help them if they overdose. And you know, I think all of this stuff is kind of pessimistic, and you're treating them like lost causes when in actuality they can still be brought back. You know, but you can't just do it just by throwing money at the problem or just with little patchwork solutions. No one is getting clean because you gave them free needles. I really think that there should be more of an effort on dealing with it therapeutically, getting places for people to get clean, and then sticking with them, giving them like a case manager, and you know, working with them through therapy to try to rehabilitate them and relocate them from this place right here, which is a drug haven, to some place where they can where there's not much of a drug problem and where they can kind of incorporate with the little community and work and be clean and not be tempted by these things, and hopefully reintegrate into society. You are perfect, Torvis. I didn't see what you said. If you can afford Europe living, you can afford America probably, but it's more expensive than people are making to stay long term. You know, if you're over in Europe, you probably get a lot of social benefits that you wouldn't be having over here as well. I know obviously the taxes are much higher, but you wouldn't have to worry about health insurance and other things of that nature. It'd be more of a health hazard without clean needles. You wouldn't be, listen, San Francisco, the amount of used needles on the streets has been going up, 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 up. I guess for you guys it'd be up, 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 year after year. And that's because they're just handing them bundles and bundles of needles. Yeah, I mean, it used to be you dump your needle off and get one needle for every needle you dump away, but that's not how it is anymore. More drugs like Suboxone and others to help addicts. But see, the guy, you're not clean if you're taking Suboxone or methadone. You know, you were basically, now you're stuck on another substance. And the medical industry would like to treat that as the solution. They say, oh, it's just like giving insulin to a diabetic. No, it's not. You're giving an effing drug addict drugs. You're giving them drugs that are less psychoactive than the drugs that they were on previously. Even heroin was an alternative to another drug, you know? You're not. You're putting them on a substance. They're on something like heroin, which would take a week to get clean from, and now you're putting them on a substance which is much harder to get clean from. They're on methadone, and now if they try to quit, it could be months before they get clean. So no, and I don't think that just perpetually administering more drugs is a solution. They're still on drugs, you know? So maybe they'll be a bit more coherent, but it's still bad for your body, bad for your liver. You're still under the influence. It would be much better to try to get them clean. I know it sucks to try to get clean, but it's a very short time before you actually get clean. And after that, work therapeutically on the reasons why you were started using in the first place. Because a normal person with a healthy childhood and a healthy mind would not ever start injecting drugs into their body. Just made Patreon of $5 for hopefully buying some socks. $35. I actually wanted to do 75 but couldn't figure it out. Thank you, Shay Linux. Next stream, I'll have a big old bundle of socks to be given out. There's different ways of approach for addictions. It's cheaper than in-house rehab, of course. Them getting clean would be great. Street drugs are way more harmful. Well, if the average cost of a homeless person is like $45,000 a year, and it can be up as high as $100,000 a year, the cost of getting them clean is minuscule in comparison. I mean, we're building shelters and SROs and transit centers all over San Francisco. It's dumping tens of millions of dollars into the solution, but it's not effective solutions. It's really just sort of patchwork solutions. You are taking the homeless people and you're putting them in places where you don't have to look at them, but you're not solving the problem. They're still addicts. They just are now addicts that are staying someplace. But yeah, you know, there's very little difference between doing a prescription drug or a street drug. The difference is the administration a lot of the times. Lee, I could give you free fruits and bananas to hand out, but I doubt you can carry it on. Yeah, it might be a bit heavy to do so. You know that I give out these little treats, not really because I think it's going to make much of a difference in people's life. I mean, obviously the whistle that I was giving out could help in a moment of need. You know, what I'm giving out, it means very little, but it's a way for me to be able to give them a little treat and be able to hopefully talk to them a little bit. It's not something I'm doing like, wow, now he's going to be full. Now he had this little Japanese cookie, you know? It's just, you know, it's not something that they would generally be able to get. And I just think it'd be a nice little thing. It's that much for homeless Jesus. I thought they were homeless. People could live a comfortable living from that amount. Yeah, I know, it's ridiculous. But, you know, they're doing all kinds of harm to their body, and they're constantly going into the hospital. Yeah. Hey there, you want a little snack from Japan? She doesn't. Oh, NJ89er. Okay, let me put the...
My brother, take this and put it towards the documentary you're working on. Keep up the good work and someday I'll pop in on stream. If you get a chance to connect with Carlos, send him my regards and hope he's doing well. Peace, brother.
Thank you, NJ89er. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm socking money away. I'm socking money away to do a documentary about the foster care system, and that's what I've changed my Patreon to focus on. So I'm putting little bits and pieces there, trying to get the last few bits of equipment that I need to be able to record. But you know, I want Carlos to be a part of it too. You know, I met him inside the foster care system. He was an orphan. I mean, if you go on to the Patreon link right there, you will see that the only clip I have from there is actually it was all him. So that's kind of last time I was trying to work on it. It had to be put on hold for a few years because I was in a situation now where I couldn't reach him. I couldn't contact him. So that might be another roadblock. I mean, I could go ahead and power on without him, but I feel like it would be missing a major piece. But anyhow, thank you, NJ89er, and I will definitely put that money to good use. Let's see, my Rize, what is your company, Rize? Hello, Nomadic Nana. Foster care sucked for me. Well, you know, it's difficult for me to get into foster care too. I mean, I wanted to get into it from the beginning, but it's really difficult when you're older. I mean, I basically how I first got in is by one of the people who worked at the group homes decided to become a foster parent to foster my friend Carlos, and ended up fostering me instead. Many sides to this. Housing can help and it can hurt. Some will take the housing and use it as a stepping stone to end the cycle of addiction. Others take housing and go deeper in their addiction. So, I mean, I hated my foster parents. Yeah, I had some bad foster parents. I mean, of course, I'm not in contact with any of them now. You know, the first foster parent that I was referencing, I mean, that dude was a pedophile. And, you know, the other people that were around him were also pedophiles. My second foster parent, you know, she was from Vietnam. She was too young to be a foster parent, and that didn't work out. The third foster parent I had was this woman named Rose, and she was a giant B word. She was using me for whatever little stipend they were getting. I never got any clothes, even though there was a clothes stipend. Yeah, I basically was just living by on the excess that they had over there. So there was no money spent on me. I was going to Sacramento High, and they lived pretty far away from there, and I had to pay my own bus fare to get to school. The problem was, I got no allowance, so I used what little money I had saved up throughout my years inside the group homes to pay for my bus fare until I ran out, and I literally did not have the money to go to school anymore. Then after that, sorry, buddy. So I what was that? I got distracted because I just passed by Nate again. Anyhow, basically, yeah, I didn't have the money. I didn't have the money to go to the school. So, yeah, they forced me to change schools. And then after that, I went ahead and took my CHESP, the California High School Proficiency Exam, and I was punished for that too. I was actually removed from the foster home for doing that. So I guess maybe that was another source of income, was having me in high school. And me being done with high school was no good. And me going to college was not an option, because that became an issue later on in life too. I'm not in life, but in other placements. They're still trying to get me to go to high school even though I was done with high school. How does an SRO work? So an SRO is a single room occupancy. So basically it's a single room for you to stay. Wow, look at this. So this is not tempered glass. What is the word for it? Anyhow, somebody punched it right here and shattered the whole thing. You see, this is not shattered, shattered. Let's go over this way, see what we see. So, is it funded by the city? Do you have to work for your housing? So basically, you got to pay for it using your SSI, your Social Security benefits. So you take that money and then pay for that SRO, and you live off of whatever excess you have. And that excess is very, very slim. So that's why you'll see a lot of people who live in SROs begging for money. I was homeless for one night. I was 14. I slept in a recycling bin. The next day I didn't go home, but my aunt let me live with her. I can't imagine my life if my aunt hadn't take me in. I'm 47 now. For one night when I was 14. Okay, it's hard for me to see the comment because there's a bunch of writing on top. It's like right here. Yeah. And Shay, you're over in Moose Knuckle, right? So it must get pretty cold over there. College is the most in America than any other country in the world. Yeah, you know, I had a science teacher who went to Oxford University, and he told me that he actually made money going to Oxford. Okay. I lived in Jamestown, California, and they wouldn't give me any money or take me to get clothes. They did allow me to get a job at 13 at the Chinese restaurant, but that stopped when my worker said no. Yeah, you know, the clothes that I had when I left the system were the clothes that I had when I entered the system. So I guess it's a mixed blessing that I was like 300 pounds when I started. But yeah, I was embarrassed my whole childhood because I was wearing just ridiculous clothes. Clothes that were just super ill-fitting. Yeah. Wait, hold on.
I don't for my Lord. I'm here to make a habit. I know God's out there somewhere. It's true, and God is so much higher.
It's a snack from Japan.
Hey, I like that.
Yeah.
I dedicate what I see to you. Well, finally, somebody gave me something. I'm standing here 3 days.
How long you been out on the? I saw you a long time ago, singing and dancing over inside the BART station.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Hey, good to see you.
You're singing like I see.
Interesting device.
Yeah.
That's a neat looking thing.
Thank you.
God said we'll be there.
All right, where are you from? Where are you from originally?
Oh, Vegas.
Vegas?
Got these tattoos in the circus in 71. Someone stole my IDs. I can't get a job. I'm living outside for 2 years. Got a temple dog and testing.
Hey,
short story.
You want another
one's
one?
Good enough.
Okay.
I have no cold ones I can't eat, but I'll give that to another homeless person.
So what happened? You said you got terminal cancer on there.
Well, I have a 10-foot long intestine. It's a short story. So I always, I can't eat till Sunday because food cuts me your colon, food will take your digestive tract, so I get fissures. So I can't eat till Sunday, but at least I got a snack to give somebody else.
Wow.
Thank you, sir, for giving me something
Oh, no
to give
problem.
somebody else.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
What? You are not fat. What's wrong with him? I don't know. I'm sure there's some substances involved. I seen him at South San Francisco Goodwill. He looked familiar. Yeah, he was from. Like I said it many times, but I never ever forget a face. Looked healthier on that video of him you posted years ago. Well, I mean, he looked awfully slim. He didn't look like he was in bad shape. Let's see. Hello, Lee. Hello, Sith War. Nomadic Nana. Where are you exactly, Lee? I am exactly in front of the Metreon. I'm at 4th Street and Mission. That's this corner right here. So this is Mission Street. This is 4th Street. Why does Rizé call you Lizardness? What does it mean? So basically, I had a pet iguana that I had named Lizardness, and he decided he wanted to call me that from that point on. So he said he got those tattoos in the service in 1971. I don't know, those look like prison tattoos to me, having chains on your forehead. But yeah. So the place you bought Oreos and the guy stole batteries. Correct. Lizardness is a cool name. Lee, do you ever go down 8th or 9th Street? Yeah, I've done it before, even on some streets. Oh, I thought I thought something was gonna happen. That Rizé, that wasn't batteries, that was nail polish that the guy stole. Like I said, it was a reverse shoplifting. He was outside, something fell, he went and tucked it under his belt, and then he like put his shirt over it and went back inside like he was gonna sneak some product into the store. Anyhow, so where are we? There's a homeless guy over there. Hey buddy, you want a snack? Sure. There you go. This is a snack straight from Japan. So anyhow, there's a little carousel over here. That guy knew what he was doing. He got Energizer but went back for Duracell. Maybe he wanted in loop. You know what? I've never been over this way. Let me go see what's up over here. The gimbal test as I go up the stairs. Let's try a low angle. What are your perspectives on being a father again? I'm sure a toddler is job enough, but a toddler and a baby must be something. You know, it's one of the stages in life, you know. Just another landmark. Gimbal's working great. It's, you know, every time something like that happens, you know, it's a new major event that changes your perspective on everything. You know, when you first have a child, you look and you see all these people just out on the streets or wherever. People who are assholes, people who are drug addicts, people who are just out of their mind. And you think like, wow, that's somebody's baby, you know? That's somebody's child who's out there rotting on the street. Somebody at some point in time cared enough about that person that they were able to make it from this fragile little thing to being a full-grown adult. Somehow, someone taught them how to read and write, generally speaking, and somebody fed them enough to where they made it into adulthood. But yeah, you get it changes your perspective on everything. And now, you know, I've been a parent for 4.5 years now, and you know, you feel kind of like a grizzled veteran, you know, like you go out there, and no matter how you think you're gonna do as a parent, you don't know what it's like until you are a parent for your own self. And all those things that you thought that you were done with, all those things that you thought were a thing of the past, they come back hard when you become a parent. Because you become a parent, you start getting flashbacks of what happened to you when you were young. And again, that completely changes your perspective. That's a big reason why I stopped talking to my dad. I had flashbacks of being, you know, pelted by baseballs, or all the other things that he used to do to me, and like whipping me and all this other stuff, and being made the scapegoat for the family. And I was thinking, like, you know, because I used to sort of blame my stepmom for it, and I realized my stepmom's not really to blame, and even if she was, it's still my father's fault for picking her in the first place and for allowing these things to happen, even if he didn't do anything himself, but of course he did. You know, so they changed it. Like, the thought of me beating my own child, it just could not happen. The thought of me allowing my own child to be homeless is something I would not be able to live with, you know? And, you know, I just have flashbacks of just being, you know, just sort of the brunt of jokes and other stuff like that. So all those kind of things, they change your perspective, and you become a lot more empathetic to other people, because you realize that yeah, like I said, somebody else had them. And even if it wasn't under ideal circumstances, someone, even if the parents were drug addicts and the child was taken away, someone raised that child, and there was some sort of nurture that went into that being, even if it wasn't sufficient. And it's probably because it wasn't sufficient that person is now an asshole or an addict or whatever. You know, you kind of see some other people in your life who maybe didn't progress. They're still sort of in an adolescent mindset. You know, I mean, everything you do in life is a stepping stone that sort of makes you more whole and more complete person as you go up. All the different steps throughout childhood, and then you're an adult, and you're basically just a child thrown out on the streets. And then you learn and you grow. Your brain continues to develop, and you learn from experiences. You know, you get married. You're in a long-term relationship. You learn how to not be sort of a tit-for-tat kind of person, how to give in, how to do things for somebody without expecting anything in return, just to make them happy makes you happy, and realize, you know, learn how to compromise and all these other things. Yeah. You know, that's obviously a major milestone that grows you as a person. Then having a child and dealing with all the stuff that you dealt with as a child. Now you're looking at this person, you're going to sleep, you close your eyes and you're getting flashbacks, you know, you're having dreams, you're just remembering everything that used to happen and dealing with it and trying to grow and become a better person and be the kind of parent that you never had. It's just a major life experience, and I'm glad I did it. And it's very difficult. I mean, once you become a parent, at least as of right now, being well rested is a thing of the past. You know, sometimes I see just a single couple just walking on the beach or going out and doing stuff together, traveling, and it's just the two of them, just quiet time, and I feel kind of jealous, but at the same time I got something that they're never going to experience, you know. So so that's basically my perspective as being a parent. And I got another one coming next month, and they're 4 years apart, 4+ years apart. So it's going to be an experience, and I'll have to be able to tell you guys what that's like later. So let's see. Do you think Trump is right for banning Chinese goods? Well, you know, I'm not against a nationalist party, not nationalist party, a nationalist perspective. America is very rich with resources. A lot of the stuff that we trade for with China, we actually are rich in resources ourselves. So, I don't think it would be a bad thing if the U.S. started mining their own rare earth minerals. Yeah, rare earth minerals are not actually rare; they're just called rare earth minerals. I think that's the main thing that we trade out of Japan. Also, jobs and other stuff. So I'm not against it in principle. You know, the idea was that hey, we open up trade with China. If we were able to sell everybody in China one toothbrush, think about how much money we'd make. Well, it turns out that it didn't work out that way. The Chinese are selling us all that stuff. So, really, having trade open with China benefits multinational or international corporations. I don't think any of the moves being done are in the best interest of the consumer or of the average person. Your empathy, your kids will be like, thank you. You made a better way. You sound like a really down-to-earth, mature, empathetic person. Thank you. Let's see. Am I Democrat or Republican? I'm not. I don't really have any feeling on political persuasion. I vote on bills. I don't vote on any people. I feel like Democrat or Republican, you're going to be voting for somebody who's corrupt, because you're not going to get to that point without being corrupt. The system right now is the person with the most money is the one who gets elected, and that just is like law. Whoever has more money is going to get that, and you're not going to get more money by being a just person. You know, you're going to have to make sacrifices to get that money. Rare earth minerals are just very toxic to mine. Well, you know, they got to develop ways to mine that stuff without getting it toxic. It's interesting about China. They're kind of burning through the resources, and they don't really care about what they do to the environment or to the people. Honestly, it might be to our benefit to continue trading with China until their resources are completely depleted, and now we are the sole source for rare earth minerals or other substances. I mean, we also buy steel from China. We have tons of steel ourselves. I mean, that used to be a major industry here in the United States. China makes everything. Well, as soon as it's just going to be factories making anything, and it doesn't really matter where it's going to be. Do you like Trump? No, I don't like Trump. I don't like any politician. But yeah, of course, Trump is just as corrupt, if not more so, than the rest. Let's see. All the clothes you got on all your equipment come from or made in China. Let's see. Let's take a look. I have a lot of clothes that are made in Taiwan or Hong Kong, which I guess you could say is China, Pakistan, Mexico, Honduras, India, Thailand. So, let's go see. Let's see where this jacket is made. This jacket's completely synthetic. China has entire cities based on trash. It's terrible. Yeah, I've seen, you know, when you go to recycle like a computer monitor, it goes over to China. And yeah, they just basically have these bins that they're just roasting computer parts over, trying to capture the metals. China has very bad air. Yeah, it's actually, the pollution is so bad over in China, it pollutes Japan. And apparently the Asian pollution is so bad that we here in San Francisco get it over the ocean. They made your shoes. Oh, you know what? My shoes are from Payless Shoe Source, so could be that they were made in North Korea along with China, actually. They had an agreement for a while. let's see. Ah, no, actually, this right here was made in Bangladesh. So no, they didn't make everything that I'm wearing. And it doesn't have to be that way, you know? Like I said, the U.S. is so rich in resources. We don't really have a shortage of anything. Maybe oil, but other than that, I mean, we really are one of the few countries that can be completely self-sufficient. Let me try to figure out how. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna use my tripod so I could zip back up. Do you think we need more immigrants with 102 million people out of work between the ages of 18 to 54? You know what made America great is that it's a nation based on immigrants. You know, and we have the smartest people from around the world have come to the United States, and it's because of that we have that all the great inventions seem to be made over here. You know, if you buy an operating, I mean, all the operating systems are made over here. The computer chips are or at least were made over here. Or if they're made overseas, they're made with our technology. You know, I mean, that's not true for all of the chips, right? ARM is based over in England, but wasn't wasn't Steve Jobs' parents immigrants? I think they were. His biological parents. Lee, with unemployment at a 50-year low and the trade agreements Trump has made, can you agree he's doing a good job? Listen, I don't follow the news, but I think that whatever he's doing for his own purposes. He's not doing necessarily for the people. But no, I think immigrants are great. Look, Albert Einstein was an immigrant, you know? But yeah, he went ahead. Of course I don't know. Our space program was all immigrants. I'm fine with immigrants, but people sneaking into our country I do not like. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously that's not something that's desirable, but I don't know. I would have to be educated on that to really make an educated response. Hold on. Oh, there's no water in here. Hey, you know what's funny? So this, I went to go drink from this water fountain, and I saw lots of birds going over here and try to take a bath in here, but there's no water here. So they recognize that this is a place where there usually is water. Anyhow, let me hurry up and go over this bridge to see what it's like. Steve Jobs' parents were Syrian immigrants. Bing, bing, bing. There you go. And right now, there's a real problem in Europe with Syrian immigrants. Who were the Aboriginals? You mean like the Native Americans over here? They came from Asia. They came from China and came down over here. That's why, actually, what's interesting is you know, the naming conventions, right? Like sitting bull or singing grass or whatever. A lot of them could be translated directly into Chinese. My wife, her Chinese name is like Mist Clarity or something like that. You know, these Chinese names, they'll choose two things like that, you know. So let's take a look over here. Wow, it is really pretty at the carousel. Yeah, let's go take a look at that then. The Leroy something or other carousel. Leroy King carousel. Yeah, wasn't Nikola Tesla also a an immigrant? There we go. So yeah, there's the old Metreon, and there's the AMC IMAX, and actually Moscone Center. They always are having a major convention over here. So right now they're having Marketing Live 2019. But anyhow, as far as the news goes and all that stuff, the current goings on, I really don't pay close attention to the news. I don't watch the news. I don't read the news. I really just pay attention to the few things that are interesting to me. Okay, here we go. America is made up of immigrants, but with thousands of people living on the streets, we can't take the world's poor. We will end up a third world country. Why don't you read the news? So I don't read the news because, and when I was working as a caregiver, I took care of a lot of people who watch the news, and I realized that the news is the same. Everywhere you read the news, or everywhere you see the news, you're seeing the same things over and over again. You're seeing word for word sometimes. And I found out, actually, that a lot of the times, the stuff that you see on the news stations, a certain company will set up an interview with their own self. And they will ship that out to all of the news companies, and it will give them a list of questions to ask. So they'll be the presenter, and they'll be reading the news, and oh, we're over here with this or that person, and then they will be reading off the questions that were written for them, and as they're reading those questions off, then they will play back the answer. Should I go visit, what's her name? Catalina? Nah, I won't bother. But anyhow, I'm right there. Yeah, anyhow, if you could see many compilations of news coverage where you're just getting the same news word for word, or patchwork, very minorly changed news from place to place. And yeah. So, I don't know, I just became sort of disillusioned with the whole thing. I really feel like journalism has really died. And a lot of the news is kind of worthless nonsense. So, that's why I kind of pulled myself out of that whole cycle. They want to get you scared, they want to get you feeling like something crazy is going to happen, or they want to get you upset, so you will be glued to the news, so you'll continue to watch. And if there's nothing interesting going on, they will try to make something to get you interested. So anyhow, I see some of the unemployment is at record low levels, most homeless. I couldn't see that comment before it scrolled off the top. I'm back. Did I miss anything funny? I don't know. I guess the other people would be able to tell you. I only watch Fox. You got to be careful with single source. Like I said, when I saw that all the news corporations were repeating the same news, I realized it was all single source information. It looks nice. part of town, it'd be interesting to go where the diversity is. Well, basically, San Francisco, super diverse. That's how all the intelligence work, what you described. Study history. Well, you know, I read a little bit of history on my own. But, you know, with history, again, not everything you read is accurate. So, if you really want to know the true history of something, you're going to have to do independent research, and you're going to have to find contemporary reports of the events that occurred. Because a lot of the narrative has been kind of transformed for certain purposes. You know, I listen to radio broadcasts, live radio broadcasts from when the U.S. Was attacked by Japan over at Pearl Harbor, and what they were saying at the time was very different from how it's depicted. You know, it's depicted as, oh, it was a sneak attack and we were outraged and this and that. At the time, they were talking about it, and they were talking about it as it was a very clever tactical move by the Japanese. U.S. admirals were saying that. But, you know, later it was politicized and used as propaganda. So. Yes, good advice on single source information, but if what you say is true, then how can one get multiple source info? You're gonna have to, you know, if there's something you really want to look into, you're going to have to try to find yourself. Like I said, try to find, if it's a historical event, try to find contemporary sources. You know, and I like to try to find contemporary sources that are not directly that don't have a direct vested interest. But keep in mind that only certain folks could read and write historically. Yeah. History is written from a certain point of view. Yeah, of course. Right now there's controversy over in Japan because there's a lot of people who are trying to rewrite history to try to make it appear as if Japan did nothing wrong in World War II. You know, it's being rewritten by their ultra-nationalists. You know, at the same time, you know, Emperor Hirohito, who was actually directly responsible for the Japanese military actions, after we conquered Japan, we tried to smooth things over. We tried to minimize his involvement. We painted the picture as if, oh, you know, poor Hirohito, it was Toho who was doing it, or is this or that person. It was the military he didn't have control over, when he himself was directly involved in all of those things. So, you know, that kind of stuff changes over time, and eventually the narrative just gets completely warped. I mean, you'll see as you grow older, the events that you remember will be depicted differently as you grow older than what you remember. You know, most people also don't know. I mean, they know about the German research on the Jews. They don't know that the Japanese were also doing the same kind of stuff. You know, part of the reason why we tried to change how Hirohito was perceived was because we wanted our hands on that research. Let's see, what we did to Japan was freaking wrong. Our military was testing out the new bomb to see the effects. This is a complicated issue. Most people don't realize that Japan actually suffered more deaths due to firebombing than the than the atom bomb. Let me see what time it is. Let me go try to see if there's just a few more people I could try to talk to or at least hand stuff out to. So, yeah, I know about Operation Paperclip. Actually, you know what? I don't really know about it. I've only heard people talking about it. I never actually looked up that stuff on my own. I can't click on any of these links, by the way. So I guess it's a street performer right over here. Getting bored. Good night. All right then, Leatherneck. I will see you later. Hopefully. I'm just trying to find people that I can give stuff to. 8:40. I know I'm going to be wrapping up relatively soon. I just need to.
Are you vlogging?
Yes, I am. Why? You want to be on there? Okay.
I'll be on your live.
There you go.
He's a vlogger.
Ta-da!
I want to be with you on that
What?
side.
Okay. Wait, hold on. Gotta switch it over.
Follow me, Kiki. That's me on 001 on Snapchat, Instagram, all that shit. I don't do social media, but I'm hella cool. So okay, that's great.
Where are you from?
I'm from Pittsburgh, California.
Okay. How long have you been on school?
For like 11 months.
What school?
Shop.
Oh, okay. Okay. Is that over at
I'm a
Treasure
medical
Island?
assistant.
Where's that at? Oh, okay. Yeah. How you like it?
It's cool.
What?
Noisy.
And you stay here in the city?
I stay on the island.
Oh, okay. There you go. How you like it on the island?
It's alright.
All right then. What's your name? One last time. I forgot it.
Rihanna.
Rihanna. All right. Thank you, Rihanna.
What's your name?
Lee. We got the Lee's channel.
Oh,
There you
wow.
go. Yeah.
That's really nice.
All right. See you.
Nice to meet you, Rob.
Thank you. Okay. Joseph, who are you again? Alameda? No, they said that they lived on, or she's going to Job Corps. She's over on Treasure Island. Treasure Island, as you would imagine, is an island, but it's an island that's very close here to San Francisco. Let me go try to see if I can find anyone. I just have a few more snacks in my pocket I'm going to hand out very quickly. I'm staying a little bit late because I started a little bit late. We brought German scientists here. They made limes on Plum Island. I don't know what you're saying, limes on Plum Island. What's your favorite grocery store that you go to most frequently? You know, my favorite place to buy stuff, but I haven't gone there in a long time. Over down at the Ferry Building, which is over yonder, they have a really awesome organic farmers market, and yeah, I like to go over there. But where I go most often is Safeway, just because it's close and convenient. I heard a gunshot. Yeah, well, it scared me too, but I think it was something else, maybe backfiring or something. It's going to be hard to find somebody. So I'm just going to go up Powell very quickly and try to find somebody. Oh, you know what? I see somebody begging for money over here. I think I've seen it before. Jesus, that reaction to the noise was serious. Well, you know, you never know what's going on. You know, I've been held hostage at gunpoint, so I'm a little skittish about guns. Still concerned about Carlos. Have you tried going over to his place? No, I haven't done that yet. Lyme disease. Oh, I'd have to see the whole thing about Lyme disease. Let's see. I'm gonna put this right in his hand. There you go. That's a snack from Japan. Yeah. What are you looking for? Reimbursement for what that was used against you? Okay. Do you want that or not? Okay. So, he said he wanted reimbursement for something or else that was used against him. Speaking of Safeway, ever since Carlos got that ambrosia salad, well, you all went to the beach, I've been craving it. I thought it was funny he was talking about how healthy he's eating and he got that ambrosia salad. Yeah, I don't know. The last time I talked to him, he made 5 gallons of beef stew. Or actually, I guess he used pork instead of beef. Yeah. Hold on. Hey buddy, you want a little snack? It's from Japan. It's like a cookie, I think. So, I like the beach at the end of Fisherman's Wharf. I really wish, I wish the stream would have not cut out when I was over down there, because we went to some pretty cool places, but as soon as we went over to the Sutro bathhouse, it just completely cut out. I didn't even have signal to make a phone call. The pot pie was funnier, but that thing was just super hot. I don't know what it is about pot pies when they always have to be just like molten lava. I mean, especially when that thing is just sitting there under like a heat lamp. You wouldn't expect it to be like that. Oh yeah, there doesn't seem to be. You know what? I see this guy over here all the time. I'll go ahead and give him something. The guy who's begging over there. Doesn't really look like he needs anything, but I just got a few more snacks I'm gonna get rid of before the end of the end of the stream. Maybe I'll give him the last 2. So, boom. Here we are. I'm sorry if it's grainy. Oh look, there's somebody over here who maybe needs it a little bit more. Here we go. Hey there, buddy. You want a treat? Oh. It's from Japan. Thank you. I think it's like coconut flavor or whatever. All right, let me go see that other guy. I enjoyed this, Lee. Well, thank you. So interesting. Listen, by the way, people, if I say something that's inaccurate, I'm just going based on my perception. It's not exactly like I'm studying a lot of what I'm saying right now. It's just basically on my perception based on the things that I know at hand. And obviously I'm not doing research while I'm out here talking and looking around for people to talk to. Oh, is that guy? Oh, he's still there. So I'll give him something. I've seen him a couple times before. Hey there, buddy. I got something for you. It's from Japan. I think that may be coconut flavor. I'm not sure, but it's a treat from Japan. How long have you been out here now? Because I've seen you a few times. Not sure. Do you remember me last time I saw you?
Who's that?
I was looking for Urban Picasso, the guy who sells his paintings over here.
Okay, yeah. That was about
A couple months ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe a few months now.
Have you gotten into a shelter, or are you getting into SRO or anything?
Yeah, I'm trying to find that out right now. Right now, basically, I had forgotten to fill out a form or I didn't realize I had a form I needed to send back in for disability.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting until that gets received. I'll start.
What's your disability?
It's mental.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But once that goes in, then I'll be seeking my full income that I was.
So your SSI got cut out.
It was never SSI.
Oh.
This is SDI.
Oh, you sure? Sorry. Yeah. How is that thing, by the way?
It's good.
Oh, okay. I wish I had more, but that was the last one. Oh, wait. Actually, you know what? Boom. Here's two more. This one's a different flavor. I don't know what it is. Yeah. What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell me what flavor it is. I have no idea. I don't read Japanese. So how old are you?
30.
30? How long have you been suffering from mental illness?
Since I was 13 at least.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is schizophrenia or?
No, just severe depression.
Oh, okay.
So,
You still in contact with your family?
no, not.
Is your family no good to you?
What's that?
Your family was no good to you?
No, they don't. My dad doesn't believe it's mental if you know the numbers, the age,
Yeah, just gotta pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Exactly.
How is that thing? I have no idea what flavor that is.
Good.
It's not as good? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. It's got some kind of seeds on it or something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. It sounds like a toasted flavor.
Yeah, maybe sesame seed or something, or? Yeah.
Yeah, there's several seeds. But yeah, the other one's definitely better.
You know, next time I'm downtown and I got stuff to give out, I'll come over and see you. Because I see you here all the time. This is like your main spot, right?
Fortunately, yeah, for now it is. Hopefully not much longer.
So after you get your SSDI, then are you going to apply for SRO?
I mean, I would just get normal housing.
Oh, are you? But not in San Francisco then, right? Because it would probably going to take all your money.
No, I mean, I would be getting enough to pay for San Francisco, right? Because
San Francisco rent is like.
I know I was paying it before.
Okay. Well, you know, if you got an SRO, it's not.
SDI is based on what they base it on your highest earning quarter out of the past year. So they just take whatever my highest earning quarter is, and basically give me that spread out weekly.
What were you working on? I mean, where were you working?
Working in tech.
In Sacramento?
Tech.
Oh, in tech. Wow.
Yeah. Software engineer.
Oh, really? And you were here in San Francisco? Is it a company I would know?
I've worked at several. I've worked at Intuit. They make QuickBooks.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I know them.
TurboTax.
Yeah.
I've worked at several startups in San Francisco
Wow.
and in Los Angeles.
So after you get a place, are you going to try to re-enter the workforce?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, I just need to get a place and get. So see, find a psychiatrist, therapist, etc. Get that all figured out.
You could there's places you could go for free. There's wait lists that are over on Howard. Has anyone given you any resources on that stuff?
Yeah, I've looked into those. Find Gnarly.
Yeah.
And I've gone into I've tried going into and it's just I couldn't stand being there. It was
Yeah.
driving me insane. It's just the people don't care. They treat
Yeah.
like shit. It's really disgraceful.
Yeah, it's a stopgap solution.
Yeah. And I see all those people in there. I see them right back on the street.
Yeah.
It's just it's not a real solution.
You use any substances?
No, I don't.
Yeah. So basically all you're waiting for is that SSDI money to kick back in.
Yeah. Right
Yeah.
now,
Yeah. But man, it's been months.
it takes. Yeah. Well, I didn't know about it for a long time. I had no idea what to do, and I was just trying to figure it out. And it was just even more depressed. And I didn't know that I qualified for disability. And eventually, I found out it was good. That was good. So I applied for that about a month ago.
Yeah. And you don't have any ETA or anything, huh?
Yeah. Just waiting for the process.
Yeah. That's terrible.
Well, the form, actually, I do. The form that I filled out, that I didn't know I had to fill out, I had gotten a message online that I didn't know about because I just didn't have a phone anymore. It was stolen. Said that I should receive a response within 10 business days, and I sent that form back in last Friday. So hopefully, and possibly as soon as next week, that's ideal.
So in the meantime, you know about like places to get food, right?
Yeah,
You know, like Glide and various soup kitchens and places where you could get bag lunch. Okay.
so I've gone to those, I go to those when I can, but
Yeah. I mean, obviously that's not ideal either, but it's sustenance.
those are actually better than I expected. There's some pretty
I've used them before though. They were
yeah, there's some
yeah.
pretty decent food at it's but then you also need, you need money to buy stuff, shaking down.
No, there's places where they give free haircuts and they'll also shave you as well. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I wish I had the resources all with me right now, but there's. I've passed by it a few times, and there's also those mobile places where you could take a shower too. You've seen those?
Yeah, I've seen those. I don't know. I've seen them like sporadically. I don't know.
Just walk over there.
Yeah,
And
I don't know
and you.
where they are.
Oh yeah. I don't know that either.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up.
Yeah. And do you have a phone right now?
No, it got stolen while I was sleeping.
That's another thing. You can talk to somebody and they could get you a smartphone.
Yeah,
So-
I've got one of those. And
Okay.
that got stolen too.
Yeah.
It's hard to hold on to a phone.
Yeah. You got to keep it close in you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, what was your name again?
Paul,
Paul. Well, it was nice to talk to you, Paul.
nice to talk to you.
And next time I see you, I'll have something for you too. All right.
Thank you.
Best of luck to you. Okay. So yeah. So basically, for you guys who couldn't hear him, he said that he's basically got long-standing issues with mental illness, and because of that, now he's out, yeah, with no place to stay, trying to get trying to get his disability. Yeah, I'm sorry you guys couldn't hear him. He was talking pretty low. Do you find many Asian that are homeless or more black and white homeless people leave? So it's mainly, well, no, there definitely are Asians. I mean, right up over there, I was actually looking for somebody who I talked to before who was Asian, who was homeless. He looked very young, but I think he was like 27. Yeah, you definitely don't see as many. I mean, we're over here in the Tenderloin, or close to the Tenderloin. There's tons of homeless black people over there. You know, they all have different reasons for being homeless. Yeah, so there's less, but it's not like they don't exist. I see the homeless people that I see that are Asian are more often than not suffering from psychological issues. You know, they're very mentally ill, or they're addicts, or they're addicts and mentally ill, which is generally how homeless people are. You know, they eventually become. That made Paul feel better. He stood up and smiled. Oh, I didn't see him smile. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, basically, the people out on the streets, they're homeless for one of three reasons: mental illness, drug abuse, or I guess that's basically it, right? I mean, there's various circumstances that lead them down that path, but they're all, the ones that stay homeless are generally homeless due to mental illness or drug abuse. I mean, obviously, you know, they could get there several different ways, but that would be an example of somebody who's homeless strictly due to mental issues, you know? Anyhow, so it is, what time is it? It's 9:01 right now. So I think I'm going to the Asian bus lady. You know, Kirk Butterfield, I talked about a comment earlier on about that woman. I mean, I'm sorry, I talked earlier on about a comment that somebody left on that video, which I think I'm going to pin. I heard that there are actually entire families that are homeless in SF, but I guess they're not out on the streets. So this is an old statistic, but there's 10,000 homeless people in San Francisco, and 5,000 of them are what they would consider highly visible, people you'd see out on the streets. So half of them you won't actually see. Now they're probably, like I said, that was an old statistic from like 10 years ago. So I'm sure there are more people that are homeless now. But usually, you know, people who are like homeless due to circumstance are homeless temporarily. You know, it's really either mental illness or drug abuse that keeps you out on the street. So back to Carlos. You said he has been missing in action like this before, once for 2 years. Yeah. I think it really was, you know, because every time I talked to him, I'd be like, dude, you got to stop using. I mean, you got to stop smoking marijuana. You know, it's only going to lead to you drinking. And I guess he got tired of hearing it and me saying it all the time, and he was feeling maybe embarrassed or ashamed, and so he only wanted to talk to me via text. And then even that kind of fell off, and I wasn't talking to him at all anymore. So when I get into these periods where I'm not hearing from him, I just assume that that's what it is. Is it mainly drugs, Lee? It's hard to separate the drugs and the mental illness, because so many people who are mentally ill also use drugs. But mean, they're both so related, you know. The people who are mentally ill are generally addicts, and the people who are addicts will eventually become mentally ill. Alcohol is terrible for your body. Alcohol is a rare drug in that it's poison to every part of your body. It literally is a poison. It will kill any part of your body. So it's damaging to your brain, it's damaging to your liver, it's damaging to anything that it comes in contact with. I have the Asian fever, but only for American Asia. There's so much cultural differences for a Nebraska boy. It must be pretty rare over in Nebraska. Higher than that, you can find. I don't know what you're referring to, Shay Lennon. Shay Lennox, sorry. Oh wait, you don't like me saying your full name. Sorry, Mr. S. But anyhow, speaking of mentally ill, this guy just barked at me right over here. Anyhow, I think with this, I'm gonna go. Let's go take a look over inside the Powell station on my way out. But thank you guys for watching the stream. I'm sorry that. Oh, hold on. Let me switch this around. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to talk to too many people. Although I am glad that I was able to talk to some people, especially the guy who talked about his dad shooting his mom. I mean, his mom shooting his dad in the foot. But oh, you know what? They're playing copyrighted music over here. You know, maybe I will stop it over here before I go down here. So thank you guys for watching the stream. I apologize for being late, and I'm sorry that I wasn't able to do it last week. Yeah, thank you very much. I'll try to stick more closely to the schedule over, I guess it would be down here for you guys. Okay, thank you all for watching. Thank you to Shay, Breezy Girl, Sith War, Kirk, Aesthetic Funk, Julietta, Nippie, Nomadic Nana, and all the other people that were involved during the chat. Thank you to NJ89er for the donation. Peace out, brother. Hope you get some rest. Looking forward to Monday's stream. Thank you guys. And I'll try to have something ready for, I don't know, you know what? Hold on one thing. One second. Are you guys tired of me always being in downtown? I was going to go over to see the people over in the Haight, but I feel like something like that would be much more entertaining if I had Carlos with me. So I've been kind of saving it. But would you like me to go to other places, or do you like me just wandering around the same place? Roy Kim, good night from South Korea. Good night, Roy Kim. I wish I could say something in Korean. Hope your weekend he has a wonderful Mother's Day. Oh, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, by the way. Do something special for your significant other or your mother or whatever. So, anyhow, if I missed your comment during the live stream, I'm sorry, and just feel free to leave a comment at the end of the video, you know, like underneath, because these comments in the live stream I can't see on playback. Okay, anyhow, thank you guys very much, and I will see you guys later.